the year 2023. A team of NASA astronomers collectively sought psychological counseling. The reason was simple. They discovered that the Andromeda galaxy is on a direct collision course with the Milky Way. The fate of our galaxy appeared to be sealed, but what is even more unsettling is that this catastrophe has already begun. From the moment you were born until now, Andromeda has moved hundreds of billions of kilometers closer to us. It is hurtling straight toward us at 110,000 kilometers per hour. You simply cannot see it. It has always been there, like a runaway train with failed brakes, and you are standing right in the middle of the tracks. When the two galaxies begin to merge, there is a 62% probability that our solar system will be ejected from the Milky Way. What would that mean? Earth would cool to minus 200 degrees within 3 months. All oceans would freeze solid within 48 hours. Human civilization would effectively end within a week. But what drives astronomers to despair is that there is absolutely nothing we can do. You can only watch that patch of light 6 times larger than the full moon, expanding day by day in the night sky until it swallows the entire firmament. On a cosmic timescale, the countdown to this impact has already begun. You might feel you are sitting safely at home and that everything is normal, but this is merely an illusion. If your eyes could see gravity, you would likely collapse in terror. Because at this very second, the Milky Way, carrying its 200 billion stars, is like an out-of-control beast, being dragged into an abyss by an invisible force. That abyss is the Andromeda Galaxy, the universe's most brutal serial killer. Why is it so brutal? Its diameter exceeds 220,000 light years, twice the scale of the Milky Way. It contains 1 trillion stars. Scientists have observed massive stellar streams at its edges. These are the remains of small galaxies it has torn apart and devoured. And the black hole at its center, 100 million times more massive than the sun, is like an eternally hungry eye, coldly staring at us from 2.54 million light years away. You might ask, isn't the universe expanding? Why would it crash into us? This is precisely the irony. Although dark energy is driving the universe apart, within our local group of galaxies, gravity remains the absolute master. Andromeda and the Milky Way are like two gladiators chained together, destined to close in on each other. If you were to accelerate time, you would witness a cosmic horror movie. In 2 billion years, Andromeda will no longer be a mere point of light in the night sky, but a clearly defined disk. Its brilliance will outshine all other stars, hanging at the zenith like a giant ghostly eye. It will be impossible to ignore, even during the day. If human descendants still exist, their myths will no longer tell of star-crossed lovers, but only of an approaching, devouring god. 3.7 billion years from now, it will dominate the entire field of view. Its giant spiral arms will span the sky like octopus tentacles, each arm burning with hundreds of billions of stars. The night sky will be as bright as day. The Milky Way will begin to twist and deform. The sky will appear, as if it is being torn in half. Then, the ultimate impact arrives. Many imagine a galactic collision like a car crash with a deafening roar and earth-shattering destruction. But the cruelty of the universe is often silent. Galaxies are mostly empty space. When the two pass through each other, it will be like two swarms of ghosts passing through one another. The vast majority of stars will not collide directly, but the gas and dust they carry will clash violently. This will trigger an unprecedented starburst event. Countless supernovae will erupt simultaneously. During the most violent phase, hundreds of supernovae will detonate every year. The released gamma rays will be powerful enough to destroy all life within 1,000 light years. If Earth happens to be within range, the atmosphere would be stripped away in 10 seconds. The oceans would evaporate in 1 minute. Surface temperatures would soar to 1,000 degrees. The entire planet would turn into a world of lava. But a more likely fate for the solar system is ejection. As the supermassive black holes at the centers of the two galaxies begin to circle each other, the gravitational slingshot effect will fling the solar system located at the edge, hurled into deep space like a pebble. Picture the scene. You are standing on Earth, watching two colossal merging galaxies drift away. The once brilliant starry sky dims bit by bit, eventually leaving only a deathly silence in the darkness. We become wanderers of the cosmos, drifting in the desolate wastelands between galaxies, with no neighbors, no direction. Behind us lies our burning home. Ahead lies the eternal void. This is perhaps lonelier than destruction. Exiled, forgotten. Until 7 billion years from now, this protracted cosmic collision finally concludes. The Milky Way and Andromeda vanish completely, replaced by a massive, dim, elliptical galaxy. Scientists name it Milkomeda. The two supermassive black holes finally merge, releasing gravitational waves that shake the universe, bringing an era to a close. Speaking of which, do you feel a deep sense of powerlessness? Do you feel humanity is insignificant before the universe? But wait, what if I told you that this ultimate prophecy, which has haunted astronomers for a century, has recently taken a sudden turn? In 2024, the plot took a shocking twist. Using the latest data from the Gaia satellite and the Webb telescope, scientists recalculated the trajectories of all local group members. They were surprised to discover that previous models ignored a key player, the Triangulum Galaxy, watching from the sidelines, as well as the Magellanic Clouds, which, though small, exert a gravitational pull that cannot be ignored. This is a classic three-body problem. After adding these interference factors, supercomputers ran unprecedented simulations. The results indicate that, although Andromeda is approaching aggressively, it might actually miss its mark. The latest papers reveal that within the next 10 billion years, the probability of a true merger between the Milky Way and Andromeda is only about 50%. In other words, this is no longer a guaranteed death sentence, but a cosmic gamble, like the toss of a coin. Perhaps in 4 billion years, Andromeda will merely graze past us, stripping away some outer stars with its gravity before racing regretfully into the distance. We might be warped or lose a spiral arm, but we will not be destroyed nor exiled. However, is a 50% survival rate really worth celebrating? This still implies a 50-50 chance of the end. Moreover, even if we escape this calamity, 4 billion years is itself a hopeless span of time. By then, the sun will have entered its twilight years. The oceans will have long dried up. Whether the galaxies collide or not, this blue planet will likely no longer be habitable. So, why should we still care about this collision? Why do astronomers fall into despair or excitement over it? Because it concerns a fundamental realization. What kind of universe do we actually inhabit? Looking back at Earth from space, you experience the overview effect, realizing how petty borders and conflicts are. But when you pull your perspective out to the scale of galactic collisions, you feel a kind of temporal vertigo. The thousands of years of human history, every rise and fall of dynasties, all love and hate, in the single second of these galaxies approaching, amount to less than a spark. We live in a vast, violent, and uncertain universe. The Andromeda Galaxy hangs overhead like the sword of Damocles. It is in itself a warning. Do not mistake temporary stability for eternity. Earth is not a cosmic greenhouse, nor is the Milky Way a permanent harbor. If humanity hopes to preserve the spark of civilization, we cannot forever look down only at the ground beneath our feet. The 4 billion year countdown is not just a death warrant. It is more like an exam paper sent by the universe to higher civilizations. There's only one question before the disaster strikes. How far can we go? Perhaps when we truly possess the capability to escape the Milky Way and look back from deep space at the magnificent galactic merger, we will be grateful to this formidable adversary. For it was the confrontation with its approach that forced humanity to climb out of its cradle.